Dear citizens, dear observers and representatives of the press, colleagues from the precinct offices, we are coming with the updated information as of 4 p.m. about the election process. Up until now, they are voted over 1,151,000 citizens in line with the legal provisions. Once the participation rate did exceed 1/3 of the list of voters in the voters list, the elections of today can be considered valid. Active voting takes place in all the polling stations in the country, the highest rate of participation being registered in the districts Dondusheny and Soroka, where we have over 38% people voting and over 34% of the voters. In the municipality of Chisinau, the voters came to vote in the number of over 200,000 voters, which represents a participation over 40%. In the polling stations established for the citizens with the voting right from the left bank of the River Dniester, up until this time we had 9,300 voters. As regards the information with regard to the agglomeration on the bridges over Dniester, the Central Electoral Commission is informing that the police is present on site and managing the situation in order to prevent any risks. At the same time, the measures undertaken aim at ensuring the public security and guaranteeing the safe vote right exercising for every citizen. As regards the voting in the polling stations abroad, up until this time, they have voted about 170,000 voters. At this moment, we can inform that as of 3 p.m. in Chisinau, the voting polling station in Japan has been closed in Tokyo, where 91 voters participated in the elections. When we started broadcasting this briefing, the polling station in Beijing also closed its activity. We are announcing also about the voting or polling station opened in the US. The last 5 polling stations will open at 5 p.m. Moldovan time, of which 4 are in the US and 1 in Canada. We'd like to welcome again the mobilization of Moldovans abroad. CEC, together with the Ministry of External Affairs, have ensured all the polling stations abroad with a sufficient number of ballot papers so that all the voters can exercise their right to vote. Regretfully, we do have registered situations at several polling stations abroad where bomb alerts have been signaled in Brussels, Rome and Geneva from Italy, Bucharest in Romania, Asheville in the US, and Alicante in Spain. The responsible institutions have intervened promptly, and the voters and members of the polling stations have been evacuated according to the rules. We'd like to inform you that the electoral officers have been trained and know exactly the steps they have to undertake in these situations. There is a clear protocol developed by the Central Election Commission, and which ensures both the security of the citizens and the staff working there, as well as the continuity of the voting process under legal conditions and full safety. The voting process has been suspended for short periods of time for verifications to be made and to ensure the full security of the citizens as well as the election process overall. At this moment, the voting in the above-mentioned sections continues under safe conditions, except for 2 polling stations in Brussels, where the process is still suspended. in the country, according to the information submitted by the General Police Inspectorate. Up until this moment, there have been recorded 141 cases of violation of the legislation, of which 3 cases of posters displaying, 5 cases of agitation, of campaigning, 3 cases of the transportation of voters, and 8 cases of reasonable doubt regarding the corruption, and 58 cases of ballot papers being and 6 cases of deterioration of the ballot papers, 1 case of the stamp being destroyed in Basarabiask. At the same time, there have been documented 35 cases when the voters from the main lists were missing. In this context, we'd like to point the attention repeatedly to the need to observe the legal norms in what regards the election campaigning, which is strictly forbidden on the day of elections. As we've been announced at 2 p.m., the process for requesting voting at home was closed, and after this time the mobile teams are able to travel to the houses of those who requested the mobile phone. The Public Services Agency informs us that today, September 28, on the day of the parliamentary elections, up until 1 p.m., via the multifunctional centers of the Public Services Agencies, there have been issued 411 provisional IDs and handed over 2,823 IDs manufactured at the request of the citizens that have been filed earlier. We'd like to remind you that today all the multifunctional centers are working up until 9 p.m. And in conclusion, we'd like to encourage all those who did not yet get to the polling stations to benefit of the remaining time. Every vote expressed today counts and contributes to strengthening democracy in the Republic of Moldova. This being said, I would like to announce you that we'll see each other at 7 p.m. Have a nice day. Thank you.